What would you say if I told you that my real mom was actually in prison right now serving a life sentence because she's a freaking criminal? What would you say? What would you say? Well, good thing you don't have to say anything because that's not the case, okay, guys? My real mom is my real mom. You know who she is, you know. My mom ain't no criminal. She might be like weird. She might be a little annoying. She might be kind of smelly, but she ain't no criminal. But today, we're gonna be looking at somebody else's mom. And I'm not gonna say that they're a criminal or a killer or anything, but you can look at the title of this video and make a decision by yourself. Today, we're gonna be looking at another video from Storytime Animated, and this one is called I Found Mom's Criminal Records, and I instantly regretted it. Smash that like button right now, guys, or else somebody from your family will end up in jail. Let's get started.
Do you ever feel like you can't trust the people you live with, but you just don't know why?
I hope not.
I lived with my mom and my older sister, Jenny. I was 14 years old and I had never met my dad.
A 14-year-old with major trust issues? Yikes, girl. You might have some more issues that you're not telling us about.
My mom always told me that he died in a freak accident when I was a baby.
Well, there's
Whenever
the issues.
I asked her to explain, she told me that the details were too horrific to describe. Although we lived in a single-parent household, we had a lot of money. Our home was huge and I was allowed to buy anything I wanted.
Nice.
I didn't have an allowance, really. I could just go to my mom's purse and take whatever I wanted, including her credit cards. I had no...
Girls are rolling in cash. Life lesson to everyone. Whoever said money does buy happiness, clearly she's not happy. And she's rolling in the dough.
No idea where our wealth came from, and I never questioned it. My mom didn't work, and she spent most of her days bossing the servants around and lounging by the pool.
That's not nice.
I grew up spoiled, but I wasn't condescending like the rich kids you may have seen in the movies. I like how
she's describing rich kids, but those things behind her actually look like great versions of some Sour Patch Kids. The kids and the candies, I guess, are sour.
Ordinary friends who weren't as rich as I was, and I'd give them whatever they asked for.
I was so much more rich.
Everything was fine and life was a breeze until that afternoon I returned home from school early one day.
Uh-oh.
I saw a plump, red-haired woman dressed in a tight purple...
Plump? Girl, why do you gotta call her plump? I mean, you couldn't say, oh, a girl with red hair, you know, a girl in heels. But no, she decides to describe her as plump. Rich kid attitude, I guess, am I right?
Dress standing at my front door. She smelled like alcohol, and as I came closer, I noticed that her eyeshadow was smudged all over her face.
Sounds like my friends after New Year's Eve.
Oh, thank God you're here, dear. I've been waiting all afternoon to see you. Your rotten mother won't open the door. She told the servants to ask me to go away.
Whoa, 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 lady! You're in front of my house and you're gonna call my mom rotten? I tell that girl to leave.
Said, "Who are you?" I asked, baffled.
Who are you?
Oh, Leah, darling, I'm your Aunt Brenda, your father's sister. Your mother doesn't like me. That's why we never met. But I'm tired of her stupid rules. She's an awful, awful woman.
Whoa.
She said while hiccuping.
Coming on a bit
She was
strong.
clearly drunk. Could you please not speak so rudely about my mother? I said
Thank
angrily.
you,
At that
finally.
moment, I saw my mother's face appear by the front window.
Oh, stuff's about to go down.
Leah, get inside this instant.
Ooh.
Brenda, get off my property or I will call the police.
Tell
She
her.
screamed.
Here, take this. Keep it safe.
My drunk aunt said while slipping a post-it note into my hand. I put it in my pocket while my mom continued her noise.
Leah, I said get inside.
Oh,
My mom
yikes.
screamed. I opened the door and locked it quickly behind me. Mom, I didn't know I had an aunt. How come you never told me about her before? I asked. She's crazy and she's not important. Your father's family never liked me. I hate all of them. Stop asking so many questions. Go to your room, my mom shouted. I'd never seen her that angry before, so I ran to my room and stayed there until it was dark.
I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes when people get real defensive over something, it might be because they're hiding something. But I don't know. We're just gonna keep watching the video to find out.
After dinner,
Whoa, this girl got pizza and steak for dinner? Dang. And even a soda pop? They rich.
I remembered the note from my aunt. I dug into my pocket and took it out. Only a number was written on it, and for a while I was confused. Maybe it's a
Sketchy?
telephone number?
Maybe.
I got my phone and dialed it right away. Hello? A male voice said on the other end. Hi, my aunt gave me this number. Who are you? I asked. Oh my God, is this Leah? He asked. Yes, how do you know who I am? I replied. It's me, Leah. Dad, I'm your father, he said.
Stop it! Oh my God, if this isn't a freaking plot twist, I don't even know what else is.
Is this some kind of joke? My father is dead.
Oh my God.
Is that what your mother told you? Anyway, I don't know why I'm surprised.
Oh my
what
God.
I'm about to say to you is very important, and I need you to take me very seriously. It's for your own safety. I begged your Aunt Brenda to pass on the message, but I guess she was too drunk. Your life is in danger. Your mother isn't who you think she is. She is a very dangerous criminal.
Oh my
We
God.
were married for a few years, and when I found out who she really was, you were only a baby. I had to leave because she knew that I had found out the truth. I found out that she hired hitmen to kill me, so I had to go into hiding. I'm sorry I have not been in your life, but it's not my fault, and I promise that it will all change someday. I know you may not believe me, and that's why I've put all the proof in a safety deposit box. I don't know how, but you—
Holy dang, this is just too much! Could you even just think for 2 seconds if this happened to you? Holy, I don't even know what I would do! This poor girl is just thrown into their mom and dad's freaking mess of a whole life. Oh, I feel so bad for her. This is just like one of those horror stories or those mystery stories that you don't know what's gonna happen, but the ending is probably gonna end up bad.
said frantically. He told me he left the key to the safety deposit box in a little hardware store owned by his friend in town.
Oh my
He said that
God.
his friend would also give me directions to the private bank where the deposit box was located.
I'm
After
sweating,
we
guys.
hung up,
I'm sweating.
I
I'm
was
nervous.
bewildered. I wanted to believe that it was all a joke, but the next day, I went to look for the key anyway. The store wasn't hard to find. I met the owner, and he quickly recognized me. Good luck. Here are the directions to the bank, he said as he placed the key and a piece of paper in my hands.
Okay, is this a real thing for her, or is this like some giant treasure hunt or something? Because I can't decide which one it is.
I hopped into a taxi right away and gave the driver the directions I just got. I was there in about 30 minutes. I walked in, showed them my key, and they led me to the box. When I opened it, there was a pile of documents all arranged in neat folders. I carefully picked them up and placed them in my backpack. I got home in a flash and ran up to my room to read them.
Okay, story time animated. How you really gonna do such a serious story like this and then have this little girl be running like she's on some unicycle or something? Like, what the heck
and ran
is
up to my room
this?
to read them. My mom was lounging in the pool as usual, and I'm not sure where my sister was. I locked my door and began reading. 2 hours later, I felt like my life had spiraled completely out of control. There was evidence that my mother had been involved in money laundering, selling and trafficking drugs, and worst of all, murder. There were several newspaper clippings which reported a story about 6 men who were set on fire and killed in a drug deal gone wrong.
Oh my
It
God!
mentioned that my mother was the prime suspect. That was not even the worst crime. Some are too gruesome for me to even mention on this channel. I wondered why my mother wasn't in prison and came to the conclusion that the network of criminals was so great that even the police were afraid to do anything to them.
Oh
I felt
my
dizzy
God!
and sick to my stomach.
Holy!
I find out my father is alive and now my mom is a dangerous criminal, I thought.
Why she grew up in her dad being alive and her mom being a criminal in the same thing? Like, 2 bad things just happened to her. Shouldn't you be really happy if you found out that your dad was actually alive when you thought he was dead this whole time? I don't know. That's just me.
Suddenly, all our riches made sense. I had to pretend like I knew nothing, so I went downstairs and had a normal conversation with my mother. It was the beginning of summer, and we were planning a trip to the Caribbean on our yacht. She was excited about the details and told me about all the plans she had for each island we'd be stopping on.
Whoa!
After a week, we were all packed and breathing the fresh scent of the ocean. My bedroom on the yacht was my favorite. I liked it even more than the one in the house. It was spacious and cozy. It had huge windows, and I could see the sea as we sailed. I sighed as I realized this would be my last trip with my family. I had made an escape plan, which I
Whoa, she just said she made an escape plan. Guys, what would you do if you found out your mom was a criminal, but she was giving you this crazy extravagant life with yachts and riches and all these things? Would you give it up all because your mom is actually a bad person? Or would you stay with her to benefit all the things that she's giving you? Comment down below what you would do, guys.
need to execute as soon as possible.
I'm
The first
so
few
nervous
days
for
were
her.
Amazing. Or at least I pretended like they were. Soon, I would put my plan into effect. I had already bought hair dye and a few other things to change the way I looked. Of course, I also took a few $1,000s from my mom's safe at home.
She gonna go
I
on
had
the
stuffed
run!
these things in my backpack before we left the house. When we reached the Grenadines, I decided that I had to act quickly. I waited until everyone was asleep one night. Then I packed up my backpack, tied it in a garbage bag so it wouldn't get wet, then quietly jumped into the sea. I swam until I reached
This girl's making us swim for it like Finding Nemo trying to find his mom.
shore. When I did, I changed my clothes and left the wet ones on the shore. I walked until I found a safe spot to rest for the night. In the morning, I asked for directions to a ferry terminal. I took a ferry to the mainland, St. Vincent, then took a plane to Barbados.
Oh my
It was a
God.
very short flight, and for a moment, I felt free. When I reached Barbados, I looked around at all the faces and felt scared and lost. This was it. I was really alone now. I went to the bathroom and put on a blonde wig. I also wore a huge pair of glasses. I did everything I could to not look like myself. Now what? I thought. I walked up to a random couple. Can you please help me? My parents just left me here and I have nowhere to go. I lied while trying to look as sad as I could.
Oh no, poor child. Come with us,
the man said. They took me to their car and drove me to a home for children who had been abused or abandoned.
Wait, this is where it gets kind of weird. If you're gonna leave your mom because you believe your dad that she's some bad person and a criminal, why would she rather end up in an orphanage than be with her real dad? I don't know, I'm confused, guys.
I'm sorry we couldn't take you home with us. We think you will be safer here,
he said while his wife smiled sadly at me. He spoke to a tall woman who seemed to be in charge of the place. She motioned to me to come over. I know it all seems weird, but in a few days, I went from enjoying my life on a yacht as a typical rich kid to sharing a room with 10 other kids in an orphanage. I lived there for about 2 weeks. It wasn't as horrible as you might imagine.
So confused.
The other kids were nice to me, especially because I looked different. Because it was summer, I didn't have to get enrolled in a school or anything, so most of my days consisted of doing chores and playing games. One day, the tall woman, who later introduced herself as Miss Jameson, called me into her office. There was a man and a woman sitting inside. Harriet, she said. I had told them my name was Harriet because I obviously couldn't use my real name. We have some good news for you. There is a couple who would like to adopt you, she continued.
It could be good.
That's wonderful, I replied, not knowing what else to say.
We are Mr. and Mrs. Beaton. We are farmers and we live in a lovely little house by the sea. We would love to adopt you. We've been trying to have children for years, but we've had no luck,
Mr. Beaton said. So I became the adopted daughter of 2 farmers who seemed so happy to have me as their daughter. I learned how to take care of the animals on the farm.
Okay, girl, I'm all about changing up your lifestyle and stuff, but if you're going from rich to a farmer, but you literally have 2 perfectly good family members that you could be living with, like, what's going through your head? Girl's going through a 14-year life crisis kind of situation.
On the farm. Every day I had to milk the cows and check on the chickens to see if they had laid eggs. Once I had finished all my work, I was allowed to chill out on the beach for the rest of the day. What a simple life! I was in the middle of tying the goats one afternoon when a little girl in a green frilly dress approached me. Are you Harriet? She asked. Yes, and who are you? I asked. I'm not telling you. Look, she said as she handed me a piece of paper. I took it and she sped off. I looked and saw another telephone number. Oh, not again,
gosh,
I thought
no.
as I rushed back to the house.
Maybe it's her dad again.
Leah. It was my dad. What's going
Perfect,
on? How do you know where I
gosh.
am? I asked.
Listen carefully. I'm very proud of you for making it this far, but the people who adopted you aren't safe. They knew who you were all along. Why do you think your mama hasn't made your disappearance public? You've practically disappeared and not even the police know. Mr. and Mrs. Beaton are part of the same criminal network as your mother, and you need to get away from them, he said.
Oh my God!
But Dad, why do you keep sending notes instead of coming for me yourself? Why don't you come to take me somewhere safe? I asked, but it was too late. He had already hung up. I ran away from that house the same night, and I'm still on the run. Sometimes I think I should go back to my mom and hope she will forgive me. Nothing is the same, and I don't enjoy this type of life. What would you do if you were me?
Oh my God, this is honestly so insane. But the girl has a point. Like, why hasn't her dad just come for her himself and taken his child back? That's kind of sus if you ask me. But maybe the dad is just too scared to grab his kid because he knows the mom will find out and do something very, very bad to him. I don't know, guys. This is really freaking weird. It's kind of creeping me out. Comment down below what your thoughts are on this story and if you think the dad is the bad person or if you think the mom is the bad person. Don't forget to smash that like button too if you want to see any more crazy videos like the one we just saw. Anyways, guys, I love you all so much. And I will see you all in the next video.